Hi everyone, this is Andy, 79Z28. Today we're going to be priming some 38 special brass, which I have received from Chris from the 740. So far we've actually deprimed the cases, we've resized the cases, we have cleaned the cases, and now we're back to doing primer install. This is the Lee Acp press, and I do have a bullet brass feeder hooked up to it. So I've done quite a bit of the brass already because I don't want to make the video too long, but here we go. This is the Lee Acp. Now I'm going to be running it a little slow because primers are expensive today, and I want to make sure none of them are upside down before I try to press them. I don't want to lose primers. So here we go. Primed, checked, check, primed. So what I'm removing it by hand so I can check it and see the primer that's going to go in next, that it's lined up. So it's taking me a little longer. Oh, I don't like that one. I don't think the primer came all the way down. You know, it didn't. See, that would have squashed the primer. Great. It's live video, guys. Dropped it on the floor. Andy, if you dropped it on the floor, it belongs to you. Okay, so always keep... Why did that... Why am I having trouble now? There we go. It's only because primers didn't go down the chute. That's all. That's all the problem was. Okay. Continue. Seated, good primer. So I'm not going to talk too much here. Like I said, I'm checking the primers that they're not upside down or sideways, so I don't lose one. And I guess it's time to turn the bullet feeder on. Some more in the hopper. Okay, turn it off. I've done away with the switch here, the automatic switch, and I hooked up a switch to use by hand for filling, for turning on and off the primer, because the spring pressure of the leaf spring switch is too much, and it causes the brass to hang up in the down tube. Okay, let's turn on some more. Okay. Turn it off. Now, you can go a lot faster than I'm going, but you can, like I said, have sideways primers or a primer possibly upside down. I tap this every so often. Okay, to make sure the primers keep going down the chute. Okay, restart the... Now I prefer, I'll wait just to finish dropping. I prefer to not let the tube drain totally from the brass, because the last shell has a tendency to not come out through the tube right, and it goes flying, etc. So I'm actually, you know, when I get down a little bit here, I will turn back on the, oops, I didn't like the way that felt. No, it's good. It's cool. And you can feel the primer go in. It's a sure stop. You can't push it down further than the actual, you know, it has a predetermined depth. More brass. part of the reason I'm not leaving that on while I'm making the video is the noise it makes. Obviously you can hear how loud it is. I didn't need it to be in the video when I'm trying to talk. Okay. And my original guesstimate on how much brass you actually sent me, Chris from the 740, it's closer to 300 pieces because I've already primed 200 of them based on I put 200 primers in. And this is the third batch. So I have to say we're closer to 300 pieces of brass you sent me. Oh, see? Now that one went in sideways. And it's my fault because I didn't check. And I'm out of primers already. Alright. Didn't expect to run out of primers. That's why it went in bad in the brass, because it was the last couple of primers to come down the chute. So basically what happened is it wasn't fully out, and it's my fault for not checking. Okay, let's put some primers in the primer tray here. I'm not sure how many I need. I don't want to put too many in. I shake it up. By the way, this, I'll show it to you in a second. This primer tray that I'm using is not a Lee primer tray. I showed this in one of my other videos. This is an RCBS. I hate it when they bounce. This is an RCBS primer tray. It's square. Okay, it's a square tray. And what I did was, I am trying to get this in the video right. Okay, this here had to be filed down to fit into the chute, but it's a much better option than that little Lee white tray for those that don't like the Lee tray. Okay, let's make sure we get the primers to go down. Okay, take this piece of brass out. Make sure the primers are all fed. They're all fed. Okay, back to priming. And again, I'm just looking at it. Okay, why do you do this to me? Let's go. What is happening with this? It's live video. I have no idea what happened there. Shouldn't be too much brass left. Come down to the end of the brass now, so you won't have to put up with watching this much longer. I think that's all the brass at this point. The question is, do I have enough primers in the tube? Now, one of the things about the press is the primers come down a chute, and when you start coming to the end of the primers, they don't necessarily slide down to where they're supposed to, so you might have to slide them down, but you want to keep something handy make sure they come all the way down, otherwise you will kill a primer like I did before. Okay, that's it. Alright, so that's the Lee APP, and it figures the phone's gonna ring.